All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for this career conversation. I am your host. I'm Charisse Perez, and I will be your moderator today. I'm our high school curriculum coordinator, and I'm also the CTE coordinator for Sequoia Grove. And joining us this morning, we have Amy from Amelia Plum Photography. Welcome, Amy.
Hi.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I am a photographer and I have lived in California my entire life. I currently live in Tiburon, which is so beautiful. And I have two daughters who are in high school. And I love my job almost as much as I love them. It's so fun. It's really a great career to have. I've been doing it for 13 years now. And I started photography once I had them. And so, yeah, I've got a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old. So they have had a lot of photos taken of them. And it's just been a really fun journey. I have done a lot of different kinds of photography. And I am currently specializing in a certain kind of photography right now. So,
okay. What are you specializing in?
So I specialize in families and kids and senior portraits. And I also do a lot of architectural photography. So that's sort of my weekday job. And I set aside 1 to 2 days during the week, maybe one on the weekend, one during the week for portrait sessions with families or doing headshots or photographing seniors.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm very busy.
Yeah, I can imagine. Thank you for taking the time to do this with us.
Yeah, super fun.
Did you find a love for photography like back in high school, or like did you find it after high school?
I did. I started in high school. I took a photography class, learning how to develop film in the darkroom. And that was fun. I really enjoyed it. I won some award in high school for some crazy photo I made, but I didn't really pursue it past high school. I went on to college. I studied sociology in college, and then I got a job working in high tech in sales for 6 years.
Oh, wow.
And then I had my kids, but I didn't want to go back to that office environment. And I'm a very creative person. So I wanted to have a career after having kids that allowed me to have freedom so I could, be with them more and utilize my creativity. And I was taking photos like a crazy person once I had my kids. So I thought I would just give it a shot to try and run my own business, taking photos.
Okay, so Amelia Plum is your company.
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah. And the way I got into running my own business and becoming a professional was by reading a lot of books. I, on like my off time, that being a mom, I decided to just dive into a lot of photography material and take a lot of online tutorials. So that I could learn Photoshop and Lightroom so that I could edit my photos. And I followed a lot of photographers that had amazing photography and websites. And I just tried my hardest to recreate that for myself, but with my own style.
Very cool. I love that. Yeah. So how would you describe what you do?
So I am a photographer. And so I would say on a daily basis, I'm using my camera. And even if I'm not working, I'm using my camera because I love to take photos no matter what. But I would say that I do a lot. Running a business, you have to not only be the photographer, but you have to wear a lot of different hats. Like you have to do your own marketing. You have to manage a website. You have to find your clients through marketing and hopefully word of mouth. So you have to do some networking. You have to put your name out there so people get to know who you are they can see what you do, and then hopefully they'll want to hire you. So that's a lot of what I do. And it's also a lot of just keeping up with current clients and checking in with them, giving them information that they might need and that might be helpful for them, so that when they think about maybe having another photo shoot, they'll call me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you get started in your career? I know you said you came back to it after high school and you had a career in tech for a while, but what were the requirements or the education or skills required to kind of get liftoff in your business?
So I think I covered this a little bit, but I got a bunch of photography books. I spent a lot of time reading. I got a semi-professional camera that was digital, and I practiced a lot with lighting, with different people, different locations, all of the different things that you need to do to learn photography and become a good photographer. I learned Photoshop and I learned Lightroom. I took a lot of tutorials. You can find a lot online that's free. A lot of YouTube videos are out there. I signed up for several workshops with other photographers so that I could learn from them. And I also think it's really good to have, maybe find a mentor that, somebody that that is a photographer who's friendly and who might want to take you under their wing and maybe work with you a little bit and answer questions from time to time. That's super helpful.
Right. I love that. Do you have to have any certifications or anything to start in photography?
No, you don't really. I think a lot of people do study photography formally, but I think this kind of career, it's more about grit and determination. And if you want to learn, you kind of can do it on your own, and just kind of, approach people. This real estate photography job that I have, I wasn't really trained in it, but I somehow found this person who ran his own business and he took me under his wing. He taught me how to do it. I worked with him for 3 months and then I went out on my own, and I was a preferred photographer for a couple of real estate agencies for 3 or 4 years. So they would call me on an as needed basis to photograph their listings. And now I work for a company that provides photographers for real estate agents. So they have like 60 photographers on their roster, and they would just book us. So I have to check my calendar every day, and I see that I've got maybe 2 or 3 houses to shoot in one day. And my job is to go out there and photograph the houses. I come home, I download all the photos. I don't edit them because they have an in-house editor, and I just send them off to the company, and they turn those photos around to the client the next day. So it's very fast turnaround. And it's really nice for me because the editing is the hardest part and it's the most time consuming. So I love to shoot. So this is a perfect part of my job where I get to just go shoot. I don't have to edit. When I'm photographing families and portraits, I do all the editing, which I love. So it's a nice balance. So I don't have to do too much editing. I get to do just enough. And the portraits, it's my own style. So I make the images look a certain way. And there's something really fun about that and artistic about it too.
Yeah. Speaking of being artistic, is this photography, you kind of have to have an eye for it, right? Is it a skill set that you can develop, or is it something that you kind of have to have that creative, talent, that eye to start with?
I think you can develop it. I think by studying other photographers' work, you can kind of see what they're doing. You can practice and try new things. I mean, I think any kind of art form is, you can make it what you want. And there are people out there that will love it no matter what. So
good point. Good point. So you already kind of covered what a day in the life works and looks like for you. Is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
Sure. Well, I think I mentioned how I work with the real estate photos. That's during the week. And then usually I'll take a day or two out of the week where I'm not shooting homes just to manage the business. So I work on my website, I write blog posts. I I just kind of work on the back end of the business on those days. Um, just the marketing, because I really want other people to find me and find my business. So it's a lot, but I try and keep it organized so that I know that on this day I'm going to be working on marketing for an hour. And then, I kind of block out my day so that at least I get these things in each week.
That's awesome. And you do all your own scheduling too, right?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big job in and of itself.
And invoicing and
Oh,
yeah. But I think the most important thing for a busy photographer to do is outsource some of these things. So I have outsourced a few things. Like there are scheduling apps that I have connected to my website. So a client can just go to my website and schedule with me and I'm notified. So that's helpful. Also, I have people helping me with writing for my website because I'm not a great writer, I'm a great photographer, but there are certain things when running a business that you need people to help you with.
sure. Yeah. Well, it's good to know that there's resources out there that can help you with those things.
Definitely.
Oops, I missed one. What do you like about what you do or dislike?
Well, I absolutely love what I do. I love the photography piece of it. I love working with people. I love being creative on a shoot. I love coming up with ideas. When clients tell me what they're looking for, it's really fun to brainstorm and try and figure out a way to deliver a session that they have been looking for. I also love the adventure of it. Every day is different. I love, being able to see homes that have been staged, what stagers can do to a home, and I get to photograph that. I get to provide those images to the agent so that they can sell that house. So I feel like I play a big role in that, which makes me feel really good. Also, when I'm working with families and seniors, I feel like families will have those photos forever and they'll be cherished. So I feel like that's makes me very happy to be able to provide that for people. Also, I think another like fun, adventurous thing like I've done is I've worked with the Bachelor and Bachelorette people. I've been able to fly down to LA and go to a fun concert and photograph them behind the scenes and get to know them. So sometimes those are pinch myself moments where I'm just like, how did this happen? This is so fun. So those are definitely some of the great perks of the job. What I dislike are taxes and writing blog posts and just sort of like the busy work that goes along with the business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, as far as portrait photography is concerned, it's so cool because you're literally capturing a moment in time that can't be recreated. And
Yeah.
it's just such a special thing that you get to do. It's super cool.
Well, and as a mom, I know kids grow so fast and
Yes.
moms love to look back on the photos. And at some point, the kids will love to look back on those photos too. So it's a really special thing to have. And, parents are taking photos all the time these days with their iPhone, but I just want to provide maybe 1 to 2 times per year where it's really special and mom gets to be in the photos
Yes.
too. And they're in it together as a family. And it's just, they're the special ones.
Oh, right. So what sort of shifts do you work or do you work every day of the week?
Uh, I get to make my schedule, which is really nice. I like to be there for my kids. And then I have to hustle in between drop off and pick up from school. I've got to get a lot of work in during the day. And sometimes I'll work late at night if I haven't gotten enough done during the day. But that doesn't bother me that much because my kids are doing homework, they're on their phones, they're not needing mom as much. So I can work for a few hours, and I love what I do. So I could be working 24/7 and I would be happy. That's just me. But
That's good to hear.
yeah. And I try to only work 6 days a week. So I take one day off, really off. I don't schedule anything. And I just relax and do some fun things because I think we all need that.
Yes, definitely. Good for you. How much time do you get to take off every year, aside from that one day a week?
Yeah, I try to schedule a couple vacations every year. And again, because I have a flexible schedule, I can kind of think, all right, I want to take a vacation in January because that's the slow time of my year. So I will block off a week. I won't book anything and I'll plan a vacation. I could take 3 weeks. When you work for a corporation, sometimes that's hard. So it's nice. Like I could take a long weekend to go do something. I just really enjoy the flexibility of this career.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the most challenging thing about what you do and the most rewarding?
I think I'll start with rewarding, is when my clients love their photos, when they feel like, they can either use it for their business and it's going to help them succeed, or when they have a really great photo shoot and they just love the images and we put them into an album or on their wall and they get to see them every day. It just makes me so happy, and is so rewarding. I think the most challenging thing is marketing and getting people to my website and finding those new clients. It's tough. It definitely is. And I'm constantly kind of trying to come up with strategies to make that easier. But it's one of those things that's a bit of a grind, but it's worth it.
Good.
Yeah.
And what is a common misconception about what you do?
Maybe that photographers shouldn't be paid very much because everybody's got a camera. But it's a lot of work and it's a lot of hours, and you should charge what you feel like your time is worth. So I think a lot of people might not hire me because my prices are too high. But when it really comes down to it, I think if somebody loves your work, they will hire you. And also, it is good to, I think, let people know the amount of work that goes into it. I think sometimes people think that it's just taking the photos and then you download them and you send them to the client, but it's maybe 1 hour of photography during the session and 4 to 5 hours of editing and creating a gallery and, talking to them on the phone to maybe set up the session and create a cool feel for the session. So there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, I didn't know that about editing. I mean, I knew it took time, but I didn't know it took that much time. That's crazy.
It does. Well, and especially when a client maybe has like some blemishes or something, you have to really go in there and use the Photoshop to fix all of that and just adjust lighting. And it can be very time consuming.
Last one. What advice do you have for anyone looking to get into photography?
I would say just educate yourself. find those books, read up on it, practice, connect with maybe another photographer, ask them questions, let them shadow you maybe. Take some workshops. There are a lot of workshops that are available. Maybe create a website just so people, if you have practiced and you have gotten the ball rolling with your business, put your work up so people can see it. Let them know a little bit about you, and just let them know what your mission is to help them.
I love that. So Amy, I know this is off the cuff. I'm deviating a little bit here, but is there any way that you could share a few of your photos with us?
Sure, I could.
Here, let me stop share and then I'll let you get it.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna pull up my website. Where'd you go? Okay, let's see. No, I am on the wrong page. Okay, share screen. Can you see it?
We can't.
No, okay. I don't think it's letting me. It's saying security and privacy. And
Oh, darn. Okay. Well, that's okay. I won't keep you on that one, but I did want to give the kids a chance to ask the questions.
Sure.
So at this point, if you guys have questions for Miss Amy, I'm sure she would be more than happy to answer them for you guys.
Maybe can you put the name of the website in the chat?
Absolutely. Yes.
Hey, any other questions?
Where can you find like good cameras?
So you can find good cameras on websites like Adorama. I can send a link, or I'll just type in these companies. Adorama.com. Amazon has really good cameras. And you can find one that maybe even on Amazon that's used. I don't think you need a new one. When you're starting out, you can find a used camera and just make sure that the seller says that it works really well. It doesn't matter what kind of camera you have. You can use a point shoot. You can even start with your iPhone and just practice. Practice with different lighting, practice, with composition. I recommend maybe reading some articles on composition because that really helps an image look better. Knowing where to place your subject, knowing, how to make it look more artistic, those kinds of things.
Now, if they do decide to venture into like is it HDMR, HDR cameras?
Oh, DSLR.
Yeah, thank you. DSLR
yeah.
cameras.
Yeah.
What is the best one to start with? Do you have a recommendation?
I mean, I would start with just like a Nikon or a Canon, and I don't know off the top of my head like a good entry level, but you can Google entry level DSLR camera and it will come up with some great options.
Perfect. Good. Okay, any other questions? No? Okay. Well, Amy, thank you so much for your time. We
Thank
totally
you.
appreciate it. I know that I've heard it said a photograph is life's pause button. So thank you for pausing your own life and taking the time to come talk to us this morning.
Thank you
And
so much.
happy Friday. I hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too. Bye,
All right.
guys.
Bye. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay.